Our whole universe was in a hot, dense state that nearly 14 billion years ago expansion started. Wait, the earth began to cool, the autotrophs began to drool, Neanderthals developed tools, we built a wall. We built the pyramids. Math, science, history, unraveling the mystery that all bang.
The New World, and by New Worlds, I am talking about the Americas and Oceania. I will begin to explain some economic structures that occurred during the centuries from 1600 to 1800. Well, to start us off, let's put into consideration that Europeans brought diverse amounts of technologies that were unavailable to those peoples they encountered in the Western Hemisphere. They also brought various other things, but will be discussed by our delightful classmates. Okay. So we can now understand that there were other voyages sent out for other reasons, like the regular voyages sent out on the trade winds from Acapulco to Melina, and these voyages occurred at the Pacific after Magellan. Now, going to trade and commerce, the Portuguese planters built sugar plantations on the Brazilian coastline after they had the help to push this plantation forward by the Italians on the Atlantic Ocean coastline. When these trading posts are built, you can understand that these were a great primary source for trading and commerce, and therefore was a smart decision these Portuguese merchants set forth to making happen. So, sugar plantations at that time became considered nobility. Now we will be moving on to an interview with two people. Today we have a Dutch mariner from the 17th century. Mr. Gertrude. Mr. Gertrude, it's really a pleasure to have you here. Mr. Gertrude, may you please speak in English? Hopefully you know how to speak English.
Oh yes, I was just trying to be cool.
Okay, back to business. You were in the 17th century, right?
Yes.
Okay. So when you went with the Dutch mariners to explore the West, more specifically Australia, what did you think of that?
Well, when we went to the expedition to Australia, we weren't very interested. Like, it wasn't eye-catching, but not only for us, for other mariners too.
Why is that?
Why is that? Don't you have some textbooks to read and find the answer? You bring me from my comfort and my resting to answer a question like this?
Yes, because we want to hear this information from a person who actually had experienced it.
Okay. So basically, Australia didn't have any spices, nor farmland. Therefore, it was not a place where everyone wanted to go to trade goods and other items with each other.
Thank you so much, sir, Mr. Gertrude. And now you may go back and rest in peace.
My hand!
Oh, sir, I'm so sorry, your hand. Stay tuned, because tomorrow we're interviewing Sacagawea. No, not Lewis and Clark Sacagawea, another Sacagawea. Good night. It is day 2 now, and we will be interviewing the amazing Sacagawea from the 17th century.
Hello, I'm glad to be here. Well, I'm not really, because I have to be here. I'm getting paid.
Alright. Okay, thank you. Now please, tell me what your opinion is on the fur trade.
Well, in my country, North America, and the British and French colonies, which are in my country, centered their focus on fur trade, subsistence farming, fish, and trade routes.
What century was that?
17th.
So, was this fur trade somewhat profitable?
Yes, it was rather profitable, but caused various conflicts between native tribes since it led to competition in various resources.
Thank you so much, sir. It was a pleasure having you here with us. You know your way out, so Now for our closing remarks, Heidi will add some economic structures that occurred during the 18th century.
Thank you, Anya, for a great look back and fast. I think Hanya covered all the important aspects, and all I wanted to add is that during the 17th century, North America lacked labor-intensive crops, and so slaves were not prominent. Back to you, class!